Jim here. So I've already done a couple of videos on this ATORCH DL24, but it turns out that I'm a little bit of a sucker for bling and maybe RGB as well. So I went out and, well, I decided I needed another one, except not the DL24, the DL24P. The DL24P is supposed to handle a little more wattage. So it's supposed to handle 180 watts instead of 150 watts. And it's supposed to have a little bit of bling to it. So let's unbox and see what's in here. And let's just, well, I don't expect there'll be any functional differences, but we'll verify that. So I already sliced the box open. So what we have in here is we have the battery box. So this is something that ATORCH makes available so you can test out a variety of different battery form factors. Then you've got everything is sort of packed, I guess, upside down. So we'll just flip it all over. And what comes out? Okay, it's left the other plastic bit inside the box, but that's fine, I guess. So we've got some instructions, and of course the instruction booklet just says DL24, but when we look at it, we can see here that this looks a little bit different because the fan is clear. There's a clear surround, and it does say, if I hold that up, DL24P. Okay, so this box contains power supply. Okay, and that's a switching power supply, and it's got a US plug, North American plug. It'll do 12 volts, 1 amp, and I don't think Underwriters Lab or ETL has seen or heard of this adapter ever. So that's one of the things that I'm a little bit fussy about, is I'm a little fussy about those certifications, but what are you going to do? You can always buy a different adapter, I guess. And of course it's a standard barrel plug there. Okay. And we've got the little adapter here for plugging in a variety of different power sources. So there will be an upcoming video on one of these units that shows how we can use this to, let's say, stress test or torture test power supplies. So that's that. There is an adapter for using this in Europe, if that's what you need to do. I guess it makes it easier for them to ship, so I've got a quantity of those now. And then there's some stuff in the case here, sort of Ziploc. There's a temperature probe, you can see that there. A couple of alligator clips that end in some forked connectors, and there's a USB cable. This is for hooking the unit up to a PC, probably Windows PC, in order to operate and view the results on a PC as opposed to on the little display here. And that's it. That's the case. And here's the unit. I'll plug that in a second. But for all intents and purposes, it looks pretty much identical to the DL24, except for the bling. And actually, one of the things you'll notice here, if I have them side by side, I guess partly because of the fan assembly, the heatsink is a little different, and the radiator fins are a little different there. But aside from that, everything else here really looks exactly the same. Okay, so give me a second and I'll get this plugged in and we'll have a look at the display on screen. Okay, so it's been unwrapped, plugged in. Now I'm going to power it up. Make sure I've got the right switch here. And we saw a little bit of bling there really quickly. And the controls here, if we just really quickly go through these, what is it? Long press on the, yeah, the controls here look absolutely identical. And in fact, what's interesting is this shows menu version 5.1, which is the same as what I see on the DL24. This doesn't even say DL24P. But what's interesting is that the overpower setting here is 185 watts. And one of the things that always puzzled me about the DL24, which is rated for 150 watts, is the DL24 also has its overpower setting default when it comes from the factory set to 185 watts. So essentially, it looks like the firmware is just totally identical. And so aside from the lovely fan and the coloration, and I'll have to kind of hook up a load for a second so you can see that. All right, so I've hooked up the unit to a power brick. You can see that written in big letters. That's 12 volts. It can go up to 2.5 amps. Okay, it uses the barrel connector. We can see on the display here that the voltage is currently reading about 12.3 volts. Not any surprise there. And so now, the big reveal, as we turn it on, we see all those fantastic lights around the perimeter, kind of a nice rainbow. The fan is spinning kind of fast, and it does make quite a lot more noise as compared to the DL24. Not a big deal. It's not threatening or anything like that, but it is a little louder, and it's noticeable. One of the things to just mention is that if there's not enough power flowing to make the fan come on, like if the heatsink can do its job without the extra airflow and keep the temperature down, you don't get the light effect either. So the light effect and the fan kind of come together as a single package. All right, so there you go. I hope this has been a fun little video for you. If you like this, please give the video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel.